मुदाकरात्तमोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकम् कलाधरावतंसकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकम् नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम् न ते तरातिभीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरम् न मत्सुरारिनिर्जरं न ताधिकापदुद्धरम् सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरम् महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरम् समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यकुञ्जरम् दरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवत्रमक्षरम् कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करम् मनस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनं चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनम् पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिगरुमचरुवणम् प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणम् कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम् नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिम् अन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनम् अन्तरायकृन्तनम् हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिना तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम् महागणेश पञ्चरत्नम् आदरेण योऽन्वहम् प्रजल्पति प्रभातके हृदि स्मरन् गणेश्वरम् अरोगतामदोषतां सुसाहितीं सुपुत्रताम् समाहितायुरष्टभूतिम् अभ्युपैति सोचिरा
सहनौ भुनक्तु Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidusura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Humble prostrations to one and all. In the last class, we had seen Arjuna is describing the form of the Lord. He was saying, O Lord, you are the infinite being with infinite power. You are the very support of the whole world. And you are the very self of all beings. Bhagwan, you are the very goal of all beings. And you are the very path which takes all beings to you. And you are the very inner guide which guides each being unto you. So everything you alone are. Now Arjuna's attention goes to the mood of the Lord. And what is the mood of the Lord? Bhagwan is in an angry mood. Seeing this mood of anger in Bhagwan, Arjuna is frightened. That mood of Bhagwan, that angry mood of Bhagwan, is now described in the next verse, verse number 23. Let us chant. Rupam mahatte bahuvaktra netram Mahabaho Bahubahurupadam Bahudaram Bahudam Strakaralam Drishtva Lokav Pravyatithas Tathaham Rupam Mahatte Bahuvaktra Netram Mahabaho Bahubahurupadam Bahudaram Bahudam Strakaralam Drishtva Lokav Pravyathitas Tathaham. So what is Arjuna saying? Hey Mahabahu, O mighty armed. Mighty armed means, O Lord, with infinite strength. The arms represent strength. So Mahabahu means, O mighty one, O being with infinite strength. O Mahabahu. Te Rupam Mahat. Te Rupam Mahat. Bhagwan, your size. Rupam can mean form, Rupam can also mean size. Your size is Mahat, you are huge, you are infinite. Why is Bhagwan form infinite? Now please remember, this is Vishwarupa Darshanam. So Bhagwan's Rupam is nothing but Vishwarupam. Bhagwan is seen as the very world itself. So the world itself is seen as the form of the Lord. Now what is the size of the world? The size of the world is infinite. So therefore, Bhagwan's form is also seen as infinite. So therefore, Te Rupa Mahat. Your form is infinite, huge. I am seeing you as the infinite world. So every form is your form. So therefore, because Bhagwan's form is infinite, so the next line, Bahuvaktra netram, Bahu Bahurupadam, Bahudaram, Bahudamstrakaralam. Lord, you are with Bahuvaktram, many faces, because every face belongs to God, including the face of the soldiers, the horses, the elephants, all the faces, they belong to Bhagwan alone. Bahuvaktram, so Bhagwan is with many faces. In the same way, Bahunetram, Bhagwan is with many eyes. Bahu, so all those arms of those soldiers, they belong to Bhagwan alone. So Lord with many arms, many hands. Bahu, Lord with many thighs, every thigh belongs to Bhagwan alone. Bahupadam, Lord with many feet. Bahudaram, Lord with many stomach, every stomach of every being belongs to Bhagwan. It is the Lord alone who is there in every stomach as Vaishvanara, as the digestive fire. So every stomach belongs to Bhagwan. So Bahudaram. So we are reminded of Purusha Sūktam. Om Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapad. This is how it begins. In Purusha Sūktam, Bhagwan is glorified as that Purusha with thousands of heads and thousands of eyes, etc. All the heads belong to Bhagwan. So therefore Bhagwan's name is Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha. So this is the vision of Arjuna. And what is this vision called? This is called as Divya Darshanam. So Arjuna is given a Divya Chakshu. With this Divya Chakshu, Arjuna is seeing the world as a very manifestation of the Lord. So there is one thing called Laukika Chakshu, the worldly eye, the fleshy eye, and there is another thing called Divya Chakshu, the divine eye or the intuitive eye or the eye of wisdom, that is called as Divya Chakshu. So what is Laukika Chakshu showing? Laukika Chakshu is showing the battlefield and Divya Chakshu is showing the battlefield as the very mouth of the Lord. Laukika Chakshu is showing hands and legs belonging to the soldiers. Divya Chakshu is showing hands and legs belonging to the Lord. So what is Divya Chakshu showing? Divya Chakshu is saying these hands and legs of these soldiers, they don't belong to these soldiers, they actually belong to the Lord alone. So Divya Chakshu is the eye of wisdom. So through eye of wisdom, this is what Arjuna is seeing. Laukika Chakshu is showing that soldiers are going to fight and kill each other. This is what Laukika Chakshu is showing. But what is Divya Chakshu showing? Divya Chakshu is showing that all these soldiers are going to be killed by the Lord alone. Lord alone is wiping away all these soldiers. The soldiers are not actually killing themselves. It is the Lord who is going to kill all these soldiers. Now this is what Divya Chakshu is showing. So the eye of the flesh, the fleshy eye, the worldly eye is showing one thing, but the divine eye, the intuitive eye, the eye of wisdom is showing something totally different. Physical eye is showing one thing, but the eye of knowledge is showing something different. So what is Arjuna saying? Arjuna is saying that the whole battlefield is the mouth of the Lord, and all these soldiers are going to be chewed inside the mouth of the Lord. These soldiers are not going to kill themselves. In fact, the truth is, it is the Lord Himself who is going to kill all the soldiers. This is what the divine Chakshu is showing. Now here, there is a term, Bahudamshtra Karalam. What does it mean? Karala means scary, frightening, which instills fear in us. That is called as Karalam. What is that which is creating fear? Damshtra. Damshtra means canine teeth. Canine teeth is called damshtra. Now what is this canine teeth? So these canine teeth are found in carnivorous flesh-eating animals. You would have seen in lions and tigers. These long teeth on the four corners of the front side of the mouth. In the four corners you will see those teeth. Long. These teeth are meant to bite and tear flesh. So they are long, they are sharp, they are firm, they are strong, and they are also very scary. That is why the term Karalam. These canine teeth, they are very scary. That's why whenever they depict Rakshasas, Aksuras, etc., these Rakshasas are depicted with canine teeth, because that creates fear in us. Even in ghost movies, these ghosts are depicted with canine teeth. So these canine teeth are called Damshtra. So now here is a description of the mouth of the Lord. So how is this mouth? Bahudamshtra Karalam. So inside that mouth there are very many canine teeth which are very scary to look at. Now a question comes, this Damshtra Karalam, this canine teeth, is it seen by the Laukika Chakshu or Divya Chakshu? It cannot be seen by the Laukika Chakshu, because as far as the battlefield is concerned, there is no animal or being which has got Damshtra. There are no lions or tigers, so the question of Laukika Chakshu seeing Damshtra is impossible. So therefore we have to understand this Damshtra Karalam is seen by the Divya Chakshu. So remember, Divya Chakshu is the eye of understanding. So therefore we have to understand here that there are no canine teeth here, it is only a poetic expression. A poetic expression just to indicate that the whole battlefield creates fear in a person. Laukika Chakshu shows battlefield, Divya Chakshu shows the battlefield as the mouth of the Lord. If this is the comparison, what is the comparison? Battlefield is compared with the mouth of the Lord. If this is the comparison, then in the battlefield there are dangers, there are bloodshed, cruelty, death, destruction. So all these scary aspects in the battlefield, these aspects are poetically represented by Damshtra. If the battlefield is the mouth of the Lord, then the scary events in the battlefield, those events are the Damshtra, the canine teeth of the Lord. So it is a poetic expression. This we have to understand. Right, Bahudamshtra Karalam. Now, seeing this battlefield, seeing the scary events in the battlefield, what is happening to the people who are witnessing this battlefield? There are so many people watching this battlefield from different worlds, from 14 worlds. What is their reaction? So Arjuna says, Lokaha Pravyathitaha. All beings, the whole world is frightened. The term used is pravyatitaha. There is vyatha. Vyatha means grief. Vyatha means sorrow. Pravyathita means grief combined with fear. So fear plus sorrow together is present in this term pravyathita. There is fear, there is sorrow, there is grief. Why there is grief? Why there is sorrow? There is sorrow because in this battlefield now very many people are going to get injured. They are going to suffer so many injuries. Very many are going to get, very many are going to die. So lot of people are going to suffer. So it is but natural that when we see the sufferings of others, we also plunge into grief helplessly. In that war, Ukraine-Russia war, when we see those videos, houses are destroyed, airports are demolished, very many people became homeless. When we see the sufferings, we also helplessly suffer. There is grief, there is vyatha. So a battlefield is something, when you see the events happening in the battlefield, the mind becomes filled with sorrow and grief. And the grief is much more intense when we see our own near and dear ones suffering there. When people whom we are attached, when they suffer, then our grief is even more intense. Again, there is fear also. Why there is fear? See, in this battle, very many of these warriors, they had such missiles with them which could destroy the whole world. Such missiles they had, like Brahmastra, etc. Brahmastra is an astra which can destroy the whole world. And in that war, very many people had such weapons which could destroy the whole world. So there is fear. It is exactly like today's world. When two superpowers are fighting war, there are only two countries involved in the war, but the whole world is scared because these countries have nuclear weapons with them, and these nuclear weapons can destroy the whole world. So an unintelligent, immature political leader who is at the head of all affairs, in his, in a moment of agitation, if he uses any nuclear weapon, it is the end of the whole world. So there is fear. So lokaha pravyatitaha, the whole world is filled with fear, is filled with grief. And what about Arjuna? Arjuna says, tatha aham. Even Bhagwan, I am also filled with fear and grief. Now a question may come, why is Arjuna filled with fear? Of course, this is a war. So there is all the possibility that one may lose one's own life. This is one reason. Everybody is scared of losing one's own life. But there is another reason also. This is a family war. In both sides, family members have come together. The male members in the family, they have come together. So, very many people are going to die. Very many near and dear ones are going to die. This creates fear in us. So, Arjuna is scared of that. In fact, true to his fear, his own beloved son, Abhimanyu, dies in this war. And it is said when Arjuna comes to know that his dearmost son is no more, it is described there Arjuna was so disturbed. He lost all peace of mind. He was so disturbed that he literally was on the verge of committing suicide. That was the kind of pain he suffered. So wherever there is attachment, there is always fear. Fear of losing the near and dear ones. Grief, fear, etc. they are always there wherever there is attachment. So therefore when Arjuna says, I am also Bhagwan, filled with fear, prabhyatita. Now Arjuna is describing the intensity of fear, the intensity of his mental disturbance. That is described in the next verse. Let us chant verse number 24. Nabhasprusham deeptamanekavarnam vyattananam deepta vishalanetram drishtva hitvam pravyathitantaratma dhrutim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. Nabhasprusham deeptamanekavarnam vyattananam deepta vishalanetram drishtva hitvam pravyathitantaratma dhrutim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. Hey Vishnu, O Vishnu, O all-pervading one, O Lord, I am seeing you pervading everywhere in the whole world. Vishwarupa darshanam. In the entire Vishwam, your darshanam is happening. So, hey Vishnu, tvam drishtva, seeing your form, pravyathita antaratma. Now, this pravyathita is the third time Arjuna is using this term. Bhagwan, pravyathita antaratma, my antaratma is experiencing that pravyatha. I am scared, I am frightened, I am terrified, Bhagwan, from the very core of my being. Antaratma means from the very core of one's being. Antaratma. Bhagwan, I am scared, I am frightened, terrified from the very core of my being. And therefore, Bhagwan, dhrutim na vindami. I am not able to gather courage. After listening to your Gita discourses from chapter 1 to 10, Bhagwan, I had gained little courage. In chapter number 1, Arjuna collapses. In chapter number 2, Arjuna, listening to the discourses of the Lord, teachings of the Lord, he gathers courage. And finally we see in the beginning of chapter 11, Arjuna himself says, Bhagwan, I am at peace now, I am free from all kinds of delusion, etc. So Arjuna had gained courage to fight the war. Now what is Arjuna saying? Dhrutim na vindami, Bhagwan, whatever courage I had gained, I have lost everything. It is just oozing away from me. The courage to fight the war, whatever little I had, everything has gone. Shamam na vindami. Shamam means peace. Bhagwan, I have lost all peace. Whatever I have gained till now, whatever peace I have gained, after listening to your spiritual discourses, Bhagwan, everything I have lost. I have lost my peace of mind. I have lost the courage to fight the war. Dhrutim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. Now this is very interesting. In the beginning, Arjuna said, Bhagwan, I have gathered peace, now I am free from all delusion, etc., etc. Now Arjuna is saying, Bhagwan, whatever peace I have gained, everything I have lost. Now this is exactly the case with us also. When we listen to satsang, we gain peace of mind, and sometimes even we think that we have become jnanis and sthitaprajñas. In the satsang hall, when we listen to Gita discourses, this is what we feel. And it is true that mind gains peace. We become cheerful, we become strong, We gather the courage to face the challenges, etc. in the satsang hall. But the moment we step out of the satsang hall, when we come face to face with the challenges of life, we become the same old miserable self. We lose all the peace that we have gathered in the satsang halls. Why is it so? So we have to keep this in mind. Unless the knowledge is hard earned, that knowledge will not remain with us. The knowledge gained in satsang halls, it is not hard earned, it is somebody's knowledge. We just listened, it became some information in us. That is true. So how easily we gained it, so easily we lose it also. But hard-earned knowledge will not leave us. Now what is the meaning hard-earned knowledge? Unless the knowledge is well assimilated and digested through Nididhyāsana. Now this hard-earned knowledge means knowledge should become a vasana in us, knowledge should become a habit in us. Right thinking must become a habit. It must get deep into us. It should become our nature. Right thinking should become our nature. And this happens only through Nididhyāsana. What is Nididhyāsana? The process of removing the habitual wrong ways of thinking and the process of cultivating the right way of thinking by repeatedly practicing the right way of thinking. This process, this practice is called Nididhyāsana. Again and again, we replace our erroneous thinking with right thinking. So when we do again and again, what happens? Anything done again and again becomes a habit, becomes a vasana. So we have to create a habit. By repeated practice, repeated abhyasa, we have to create a habit. What habit? Right thinking should become a habit. Right understanding should become a habit. The peace gained in satsang hall, that peace is because somebody's right thinking is injected into us. So we are forced to think in the line of the speakers. The speaker is speaking about Gita. So when we listen to it, when we understand it, our thinking is forced by the thinking of the speaker. So therefore the peace is also a forced peace, it is not a natural peace. So how to make peace natural? Right thinking gives peace. So when we make the right thinking natural, peace also becomes natural. Now here, as far as Arjuna is concerned, his peace he had gained by listening to Bhagwan's lectures from chapter number 2 to chapter number 10. It was Bhagwan's spiritual discourses which had given peace to Arjuna. But now, when a challenging situation comes, all the peace is lost. So this is the same case with us also. So therefore Arjuna says, Dhrutim na vindami shamam cha Vishnu. Bhagwan, all my peace, all my courage, everything is gone. But Arjuna, what is it that is creating fear in you? So now Arjuna is describing the cause of that fear. So Arjuna says, Bhagwan, your form is Nabhasprisham. Nabhasprisham. Nabhasprisham means touching the sky. So Bhagwan, you are so huge that you are touching the sky. Now please understand, what is the form of the Lord? The form of the Lord is now Vishwam. There is no specific form. The whole world itself is seen as the form of the Lord. Now, what is the size of the whole world? Naturally, the size of the whole world is the size of the sky. Sky is the limit. So naturally, the form of Bhagwan also should be Nabhasprisham, because the form of Vishwam is Nabhasprisham. Since the world is infinite and sky is the limit, so Bhagwan's form also should have sky as the limit. So Nabhasprusham. Then Deeptam. Deeptam means brilliant, well lit. Bhagwan, you are brilliant. So where is this brilliance coming from? So earlier Arjuna himself had said that Bhagwan's brilliance is equal to thousands of suns rising at a time. So we had discussed there, in this universe there are millions and billions of stars who are much more brilliant than sun. So all those brilliance is nothing but the brilliance of Bhagwan alone. All those stars have borrowed their brilliance from Bhagwan. So therefore we can say Bhagwan is Deeptam. Now there can be another reason also. What is Deeptam? It can mean the mood of the Lord. So what is the mood of the Lord? Bhagwan is fully inspired, fully enthusiastic, fully charged up, and is looking forward eagerly. Now all these, how does it express in the face? It expresses as brilliance in the face. When you are inspired, when you are full of enthusiasm, when you are eager to do something, all those expressions express as brilliance in the face. Now, what is Bhagwan fully inspired? Bhagwan is fully inspired, he is looking forward eagerly to devour all the soldiers present there. Yes. Bhagwan is also inspired. To do what? To destroy all those people present there, the soldiers present there. So in that sense also we can say Bhagwan's face is Deeptam, well lit, brilliant, fully enthusiastic. That's the meaning. And now another term is Anekavarnam. Anekavarnam means full of colors, varieties of colors. Anekavarnam. It's interesting, a war is a very colorful event. No doubt a war is a very painful event, it's a very tragic event, but a war is also a very colorful event. The war of, in the Puranas etc., they come to a battlefield and the two armies fight. This was the kind of war it used to happen in those days. So why is it called a colorful event? Because there are lots of colors everywhere during a war. What are the colors? Horses, the chariots and elephants are beautifully decorated and armored. And also there are flags and festoons and banners all over. And there are musical troops. They come in, dressed in all colors. And they come with all kinds of musical instruments like kettle drums and trumpets and conch etc. And they play various music. And what is the purpose? Why are they present there? They are present in order to cheer their war heroes and leaders. So through playing various musical instruments, they cheer up their leaders. So in a way we can say war is a colorful event. So that is why the term Anekavarnam. Now what is Arjuna seeing? Arjuna is seeing all these colors belonging to Vishwarupa Bhagavan. Anekavarnam. But now condition of Arjuna is he is totally scared. These colors are not bringing him any kind of cheer, but rather he is terrified. What is that which is creating fear in him? So the term used is Vyattananam. Ananam means face, mouth. Vyattananam means mouth fully open. Like a crocodile we can say. Fully open. Why is it fully open? It is fully open because now Bhagwan is going to devour all of them. He is going to eat all of them, destroy all of them. It is a mouth of destruction, fully opened. A huge amount of army is going to be destroyed. 11 Akshauhinis of Kauravas and 7 Akshauhinis of Pandavas. So the mouth has to be widely open. And what about the eyes? So it is said, Deepta Vishala Netram. See the description of eyes of Bhagwan. Deepta Vishala. Bhagwan's eyes are well lit. And it is Vishala. Vishala means bulged out, popped out. It's something like a glutton. When he sees varieties of delicious food items in front of him, chappan, bhog, etc. So many varieties, delicacies on the table. And suppose it's a buffet system. His eyes become bulged out. His mouth waters. He is unable to contain his greed. He becomes so excited and restless to pounce upon those delicious eatables. His impatience, his restlessness is very clearly seen through his eyes. Sometimes we chant some verses. The 15th chapter we chant before having food. Now this person has absolutely no patience to chant the 15th chapter of Gita or even to chant Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi. This is the nature of a glutton. When he sees food, his eyes bulge out. His eyes are well lit. So in the same way, Bhagwan is also now like that glutton. Fully enthusiastic, full of energy and vigor, eagerly waiting to devour all the soldiers gathered in the battlefield. That's why the term Deepta Vishala Netram. Seeing this, Arjuna is scared. Pravyathita Antaratma. So seeing this eagerness of the Lord to clear the battlefield, destroy all the soldiers in the battlefield, seeing this eagerness of the Lord in creating this destruction, Arjuna is terrified from the very core of his being. Now this fear, it is again described in the next verse also. Again some of the terms are again and again repeated because it has gone deep. It has created a deep impression in the mind of Arjuna. That is why some of these terms are again and again repeated. Let us chant verse number 25. Damshtrakaralani cha te mukhani drishtva kalanalasanibhani दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्मा प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास दंष्ट्राकरालानि च ते मुखानि दृष्ट्वैव कालानलसन्निभानि दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्मा प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. Arjuna says, Bhagwan, drishtva, seeing what? Mukhani, your mouths. It's not mukham, it is mukhani, plural. Your many mouths. So, the entire battlefield is compared with many mouths of the Lord. Not just one huge mouth, but many mouths. Why many mouths? Many mouths because wherever death is happening, that is happening in the mouth of the Lord. So there is a mouth. And death and destruction is going to happen every place in the battlefield. So we can say In every inch space of battlefield, we have the mouth of the Lord. So many, many mouths. Mukhani, Bhagwan, seeing your mouths, I am terrified. Mukhani. And what is seen inside these mouths? Damstra karalani. Each and every mouth of that Lord, it is filled with damstra, canine teeth, because that is the most useful teeth in tearing, in biting the flesh. And it's very scary. We have discussed it earlier. Bhagwan, these canine teeth inside your mouth, which are like damstra karalani chate mukhani. These mouths are like kala anala sannibhani. Sannibhani means like, compared with what? Kala anala, the fire of Pralaya. Anala means fire. Bhagwan, your mouths are like fire of Pralaya, the fire of deluge. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. So your mouths are like the fire of deluge. Now what is this comparison? So here we have to understand Srishti, creation. How does creation happen? Creation always happens from the subtler to the gross. So it is said in the Puranas, first comes space, Akasha, then comes air, Vayu, then comes fire, Agni, then comes Jala, water, and finally comes earth. So from the subtle to the gross. Akasha has got only one quality, the quality of sound, whereas Prithvi has got 5 qualities, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So from the entity with lesser quality, the entities with greater qualities emerge. This is a process of creation. Creation always happens from Sukshma to Sthula. Creation always happens from subtle to gross. So if this is the procedure in creation, what must be the procedure in dissolution, in Pralaya? If Srishti happens from Sukshma to Sthula, Pralaya must happen from Sthula to Sukshma. It is like folding things. So whatever has come last must be folded in first. So what is the thing which comes last? Earth is the one which comes last. So that is the one which has to get destroyed first. So how is earth destroyed? Earth has to be destroyed or folded back through water with the previous state. So it is said during Pralaya, the first thing that happens is earth is flooded with water. There is a flood, that's what they say. Right, so the whole earth is flooded with water, and now what should happen? Water should merge in fire, the previous one. Prithvi should merge in Jala, Jala should merge in Agni. So it is said all these stars like sun, etc., they become intensely heated up, and in that intense heat the earth is dried up and burnt away. This is what they say. So this fire is what is called as Kala Anala, the fire which burns the earth and reduces it to nothing. So what is Arjuna saying here? Bhagwan, your mouth, I am so scared, your mouth is like Kala Anala. So just like that Kala Anala, the fire of deluge, destroys everything, in the same way Bhagwan, your mouth is going to destroy the whole world. This is what I feel. Kala Anala Sannibhani. And therefore Bhagwan, out of this fear, what has happened to me? Disho na jane. Bhagwan, the effect of this fear is Dishah na jane. I have lost the sense of direction. I have lost the sense of direction. And this is what happens when there is extreme fear. Our mind loses the sense of direction and our mind loses the sense of time also. Disha and Kala, Desha Kala, both we forget. A mind which is filled with fear, a mind which is paralyzed, stunned because of fear or because of any other reason also, what happens to that mind? That mind loses the sense of direction. The mind loses the sense of time. Arjuna says, Bhagwan, I feel as though I am becoming unconscious. Now, this is what happens. When extreme fear grips a person, that person goes to the state of that being unconscious. We become unconscious when extreme fear grips us. So that's what Arjuna is saying. Bhagwan, I feel as though I am becoming unconscious. I am feeling dizzy. I am feeling as though I am losing my balance. There is giddiness. I am not able to stand. Disho na jane. I am losing the balance of my mind. Nalabhe cha sharma. I am so disturbed, Bhagwan, so agitated, so frightened, so scared. In that fear, I think I will just fall down unconscious. I will just collapse. Bhagwan, I am not able to handle this. I am not able to handle this sorrow, this fear, this worry, this tension, this anxiety. So Bhagwan, Prasida Devesha Jagannivasa. So, oh Lord, Prasida, please be pleased with me. Please bless me. Please save me. Be gracious unto me, O Lord. Please protect me. Prasida. Bhagwan, you can protect me because you are Devesha, the Lord of even gods. You are not only the Lord of ordinary human beings, you are the Lord of even gods. Jagannivasa, you are not only the Lord of gods, you are the one in whom the world exists. The whole world resides in you, Bhagwan. The whole world exists in you, Bhagwan. The whole world is created and maintained by you, Bhagwan. So therefore, since you are the Lord of all beings and you are the Lord of the whole creation, so Bhagwan, definitely you can protect me. Please protect me, Prasida. Be gracious, be pleased with me. I am not able to handle this fear, this tension. Now, Arjuna starts seeing what is happening inside the mouth of the Lord. What is happening? So Arjuna has that ability, he can zoom in and zoom out. Remember the abilities of having a Divya Chakshu. So using Divya Chakshu, now Arjuna is trying to peep into the future. What is going to happen in the war? What will be the outcome of the war? Because his main worry, his main fear is because he is attached with so many near and dear ones, like his children, his grandfather, Bhishma, Drona, etc. There are a lot of attachments in his mind. So naturally there is a war which is going to happen. So it is but natural that he will have a curiosity to know what is going to happen in the future, what is going to be the outcome of this war. So this fear in him makes him peep into the future and see the outcome of war. Now this ability is given to him, so he is exercising this ability. So that we will see in the next two verses. Let us chant these two verses, verses number 26 and 27. Ami cha tvam dhritarashtrasya putraah sarve sahaiva vanipala sanghaihi Bhishmo dronas suta putrastatthasau sahasmadiyayrapi yodhamukhyaihi Ami cha tvam dhritarashtrasya putraah sarve sahaiva vanipala sanghaihi Bhishmo dronas suta putrastatthasau sahasmadiyayrapi yodhamukhyaihi Vaktrani te tvaramana vishanti damshrakaralani bhayanakani kechit vilagna dashanantareshu sandrishyante churnitairuttamangai Vaktrani te tvaramana vishanti damshrakaralani bhayanakani kechit vilagna dashanantareshu sandrishyante churnitairuttamangai. So now here Arjuna is exercising the choice to know the future, the choice to know the outcome of this war. And he is also exercising the ability to zoom in. So he is zooming in and trying to find out what is that is happening in the future inside the mouth of the Lord. What does he see? Arjuna is describing here. So this portion we will see in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om